Good morning, class. Happy Sabbath. Teacher Nicole here with this week's lesson. Remember, you can go to gracelink.net/primary to find your lesson. This week's lesson is titled All for One, One for All. The disciples were overjoyed because in one day they got 3,000 new believers. Many of these new believers were strangers to Jerusalem because they only came to celebrate the Feast of Pentecost and were going to hurry home right after. But once they became believers, they wanted to stay and learn more about Jesus. So those who stayed had to find somewhere to sleep and somewhere to eat. So those who were already in Jerusalem helped them out. During this time, the believers, the disciples, all gathered together to pray and learn about God and spend time together. Many of these believers were either rich or poor. Others were disowned from their family because they became Christian, and others sold everything off because they thought what was important was learning about God and not the earthly things. So everyone had to share what they had so they could keep living and learning about God. During this time, they didn't have phones or the internet or radio or TVs, so they could communicate and tell others about the wonderful things that God has done. So instead, it had to be word of mouth. So you'd be walking around and you'd hear, "Oh, have you seen what happened?" Or they'd tell stories about someone who was really sick, and then the next day, after meeting with a new believer or meeting with a disciple, they felt much better. So by hearing things on the street, many others wanted to learn about God as well. So we have to remember that through sharing these stories and by helping others and by giving back, we are making new believers for God. And that goes with our memory verse, which is, "Serve wholeheartedly as if you were serving the Lord, not people." Ephesians 6:7. And we have to remember our monthly theme, which is God gives us skills for service. Now, God had given the disciples skills so they were able to make many new believers. And these new believers were able to go all over the world and share the stories of God and Jesus and what they have done and what they would do. So I have a little craft for you that kind of ties everything together from this whole month of learning, of having our own special skill to serve God. So I started off with the message here, and then I linked together types of services or skills that can help spread God's message. So in one I have service, right? And a type of service is we learn about mission trips that they go and build new churches or schools. Listening is also a service because some people just want someone to listen. Giving food or cleaning, just cleaning at home is helpful and showing that you love not only your parents but God as well. And donating. We also have prayer. When you pray for others, you're showing your love for them. We also have music. You could sing, you could play an instrument and sing about God's love. And even through something like sports, you can show your love through playing sports and showing that you love Him as well. And at the end, I have our memory verse. Now, you can make your link even bigger and add more things. You could add your favorite stories. You could add your own special skill that you think you have that can help others learn about God and His love. But this link could keep growing and growing and growing. And what it shows is that through our skills and through our love, we are making new believers for God and new people to learn about His love and keep spreading His message. So that's our story for today. I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy, and I hope I get to see you soon.